But I am not saying this in a bad way, but again it is in a bad way, because if we cannot accomplish the microscopic task of registering as voters, then let us stop shouting change and all that Gen Z nonsense. Those who desire change do not request for it politely. They manufacture it with their own hands. Otherwise, we are simply professional street marchers. We are perennial street athletes marching up and down like hired extras in our own tragedy. We are going to be seen as part-time clowns who don't even deserve competent leaders. And honestly, I'm starting to believe our leaders are a perfect mirror of us. They see us as magnificent idiots expecting 2027 to magically transform just because we tweeted about it. Things can only be different if we come out, register as voters, then vote out the rubbish our parents elected in 2024 and vote in new people who can actually ensure that you and me can afford basic needs without having to beg the government for it. So, if you're watching this video and you're not yet having yourself registered as a voter, ask yourself if your current suffering is the future you ordered, because the narrative will not change by osmosis. It is we, the sovereign people, who shall change it. Niliona President Ruto juzi akisema akiwa juu ya gari, na watu opposition nitawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema. Watu wako hapo wanashangilia, tutam. Sawa. Watu opposition wenye president anasema atanyorosha ni wakina nani? 1. Rigathi Gachagua. Number 2, Kalonzo Musyoka. 3, Martha Karua. 4, Matiang'i. 5, nao wengine wakina Eugene Wamalwa ndio watanyoroshwa asubuhi. Sawa, tuseme amewanyorosha asubuhi, ameapishwa. Kutumia kura yenu nyinyi wenye mnahetu wa Kikuyu, mnasema you are going kwa hii ballot ya 2027 to teach Kikuyu a lesson. Sasa tuseme mmefaulu, mmewatich wa Kikuyu lesson, Ruto amerudi kiti, for another term. My question is, Rigathi Gachagua ni maskini? Haezi kula, haezi fanya mambo yake kwa sababu Ruto amerudi second term. Kalonzo Musyoka izipua. Ruto akirudi second term, mambo yake itasimama. Matiang'i ni maskini? Martha Karua ni mtu maskini? Eugene Wamalwa izipua? Hapana. Aya, wao pia wamesema sawa, umerudi second term, hatuna shida. After there, nani atakuwa ananyoroshwa asubuhi kila siku? Ni nyinyi wenye mnaimba tu tamsai. Kwa sababu mnafikiri Ruto akisema anaenda kunyorosha opposition, mnacheka Gachagua. Mnacheka Kalonzo. Hao ndio watanyoroshwa. You think hiyo loss itakuwa ni yao? Mimi nataka niambie wa Kenya, don't trust huyu mtu na power. Power is too sweet. I'm telling you, power is too sweet. Hata Uhuru Kenyatta ni vile tu ni mtu alizaliwa kwa hiyo power. Ni kitu alikuwa amezoea. Hakutaka kungangania, but angechange hata katiba. Alikuwa na huo uwezo. Naona kabisa yaweza kuwa na huyu jamaa anaweza badilisha katiba. Atoe term limit. Power is too sweet. You saw what Moi did with the power. I'm warning people who are singing two term. Mtarudi hapa kwa mtandao kwanza kumobilize watu waende maandamano. We have a chance to change this country in 2027. Let us not go to this election with the spirit of revenge kwa Wakikuyu. It will cost us. I'm telling you. Hii mambo kusema wacha tuumie sisi wote. Wacha tuumie.
Listen me for a moment in this wonderful Sunday morning service. Last week, many polls in Kenya revealed something painful. You are allowed online by silent at the polling station. And here's the truth. If you don't register, if you don't vote, someone else will choose your future for you. While you stayed home, the elderly came out, many even bribed, and they decided leaders who will shape your tomorrow. My friend, you cannot fight corruption on TikTok alone. You cannot change Kenya with hashtags. You cannot stay on the sideline and expect a new nation. Your vote is your power. Your registration is your first step. Your presence, my friend, is your weapon. Every young person who gets a voter's card is declaring, I refuse to surrender my future. I refuse to let others speak for me. Gen Z, you have the numbers. You have the influence. You have the energy, my friend. Now use it. Don't let your future be stolen because you stayed silent. Rise, register, show up. My friend, Kenya is waiting for you. Thank you so much for listening. I am Pastor Seb Oti.
But your response cannot be to tell me 1 term or 2 term. Who are you speaking to? That is partly why you are seeing this low voter turnout. So when you look at the candidates, what do they represent? 1 term or 2 term? Mm-hmm. Where is the solution to my economic problem? Mm-hmm. What am I going to vote for in this election? Mm-hmm. What am I going to pick? What's my take home at the end of this election?
Let me read, Willis, for you something that Senior Counsel James Orengo said there before you make your comments. He wrote this early on Twitter, said, we can't be first world if years after Constitution 2010, we can't hold peaceful and fair elections. The militarization and Goonification of election is an evil worse than Mlolongo. The East African neighborhood is becoming, or has been, extremely intolerant and despotic. Again, to make the point that we're just getting clear that for the first time, this Goonification of our politics, that has been an underbelly of our politics, is just playing out. And this is our new reality. And there's really no one, no institution whatsoever that is able to handle this and rein in the Goonification of our politics. Is that a correct lens to look at?
It's true. It's true. In fact, the first step, you asked the question of who should we blame. Maybe my friend, because you asked the political party, is a bit polite. We blame legacy politicians, number 1. Those who want to maintain their positions at all costs. Mm-hmm. This is all they know. They're the ones who gave back to these goons. They're the ones feeding these goons, and now they're deploying them to undermine the provisions of our constitution. It is about holding power. When my brother and in-law here says that it's whoever won, even if you win by 1 vote, and you won. I mean, what victory are you going to have when people have died out of that process? There's no victory there. Because it's not a competition of individuals that I'm ahead of you, I'm first past the post. No. The competition in politics should be a competition of ideas, because you are seeking to represent the people. It's a donation of sovereignty. So victory should be that the people have won by choosing this particular policy. Not that this individual, that you have won by 1 vote, now we are celebrating. What are you celebrating? Because you are there to serve all Kenyans. Whoever becomes a member of parliament is not just representing the constituency, but is a national legislature representing the whole country. The second person that we must blame after legacy politicians is the IEBC. If at the end of all this, after seeing what I've witnessed, and I'm calling this election, this was Gaza, that you still proceed to declare and issue certificates of a winner, then why do we have elections code of conduct? Why do we have an enforcement committee? IEBC need to crack the whip. At some point, the commission should say, what is going on is not the elections envisaged by the constitution. We nullify the elections. Call it off. Send a message to the legacy politicians that if you engage in this Goonification of our politics and over secularization of our politics, of our elections, then there are consequences. The more you deploy goons, the more we'll postpone those elections, we'll cancel them, we'll nullify them before they are concluded.
Is there anything you've seen today, as you make your point, that someone can go to court to cancel these elections? There's
so much, but the problem now is this. Why are you kicking the ball to the courts? When the primary agencies should be doing their work. Because we have this habit in Kenya that go to court. Those judges have nothing to do with the elections. Those judges don't superintend elections. Now, because you don't want to solve your problems, you want to live according to the constitution, now we say take it to court. Why? Why are you kicking the ball to the judges? We should be asking the IEBC, you are the enforcer of the electoral code of conduct. Crack the whip. So when there is violence, when there is destruction of property, and I told you, these things happen early in the morning. They start in the morning for a reason. It is meant to send a chill down the spine of the voter who has not left his house, that today, people are being beaten there, it's tear gas, cars are being burnt. They not come out.
So in your assessment, the electoral agency has failed in
the
process?
It has totally failed to the extent that we are not seeing the whip being cracked on legacy politicians who are committing acts of violence, acts of undermining the areas of our sovereignty. IBC needs to do that. Number 3, and I'll tell you the people I'm going to blame today. Number 3 are the surrogates of legacy politicians. The ones who are the talking heads, who come and use smooth tongues to explain to Kenyans, try to chastise a very bastardized process from the beginning. They try to use sweet language, English, nice sounding terms to make it appear like this competition is all about one term, 2 term, it's about Gachagua and Ruto. No. They move the people away from the core of the elections. We are not now discussing the elections based on the principles of our electoral system in the Constitution. So we must blame the surrogates who are amplifying and are the ones selling this message. The last group I'm going to blame our media. And I blame our media for this. After doing your work so well the whole day, because what we've witnessed today is because the media brought it to our attention, both mainstream, social, and digital. They captured the information. But post facto, tomorrow morning, winners and losers, and they start putting people celebrating a very violent electoral process. The media, in terms of deduction, drawing conclusions from what they've fed us today, what we've all witnessed, because they accurately captured what has happened. But how do we draw our conclusions out of that outcome? The media should say, there's no election here. Based on what we've shown you as Kenyans, there was no election. This was Gaza. The Kenyan people have lost. Their sovereignty has been captured. This is a goon, what you call a goon coup. And IBC is just but legitimizing it by giving that certificate of a winner.
Let me read out.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haja nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, jua lies, nice.
Kono moja mbele, gine yende rembe, baila